Hey, what's up? It's King J coming to you live from hell. Now, let me just start with this. It's been about 5 or 6 months since I made a video. I've been through hell. I've been in hell. But I'm in a whole new place, a whole new perspective. And I figured if I'm looking at this like a personal diary, like I said in my first video so long ago that I just recently watched, I have gone through like a transformation, and it's not this transformation where I feel like I need to produce, and then just make all this stuff. It's just a sort of, I see things in a different light. I see things through new eyes, a whole perspective, and I'll eventually get through all of that. But for right now, what I want to do with this video is I want to inspire myself first and foremost, prioritize myself first and foremost, as this is sort of like a documented diary, right? So I'm going to be talking to myself, reminding myself of some things, almost like a meditation or just something to keep in mind, because I seem and I'm sure this happens to a lot of people. You'll feel a certain way, and you'll have this belief and this idea, and then it'll slowly drift away, and you'll be thrown back into less positive sort of mindsets. So I'll just start it with this. One thing that I learned from a couple of YouTubers that I've been watching is life is not happening to you, it's happening through you. Your life is a reflection of what you feel inside. So if you think negative thoughts, you're going to get negative outcomes. And on top of that, if you're attached to outcomes, you're only going to lead towards disappointment, because you're going to be expecting something and then you're going to be upset when it doesn't happen. And how many times do we do that? We hope that this thing happens, it doesn't happen, and then we're almost bummed, but it only felt that way because we expected it. If we don't have expectations, if we don't put expectations, we then are free to enjoy things, whether they happen or don't happen. So through this, I'm finding a freedom. I'm finding a way of just being myself, being open, being clear. I don't have these ideas of videos that I needed to make, and I have to get this point across to people. I could just be myself. Now I know I'm a character on YouTube. It's like I'm hiding, right? But it's not that I want to hide. Is that this is a world that I've created for myself. It's this cartoon land where I could be anything I want, but in reality, I'm still grounded. Behind the microphone, it's still me. So just things to remember, that whenever you're worried about something, there's only one thing to do, is to let it go. And not be attached to a particular outcome, not be attached to a particular idea, not be attached to a particular belief, because then those things, we feel that they're our personality. We attach ourselves to that, and we have to stay stuck in that. But when it comes to beliefs, I think it should be growing, right? We should always expand our beliefs, but they should have not just a positivity, but an understanding of what you want and who you are. For example, it would be really easy for me to say, I'm a rapper, I'm an artist, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a friend, I'm a son. But the truth is, I'm none of those things. I'm just a person. And if I attach myself to all those things, that's a bunch of labels that puts pressure on me to try and be the perfect version of all those things. And I'm just a dude who wants to have fun talking into a microphone. It's that simple. It really is. And if I find this fun and therapeutic, I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm not going to look at it with this scary thing of views and this and that, and I'm a failure if I don't get. It's like, whoa, we're jumping way too far ahead. And I seem to always do that. I jump too far ahead and I overthink. So this is a clarity. All truths are true. So if I believe something is true, therefore I'm going to go about my life as if it is true. Because it is to me. So if I believe in a negative way, if I believe that my YouTube only matters if I'm getting 1 million views, then I'm never going to do YouTube, right? the only way for me to start is to enjoy the process of it right now. And yeah, I'm enjoying this process. I'll eventually talk about all kinds of stuff, but I find it an irony. I've noticed so many ironies lately that the first 3 videos that I had are me just speaking and venting about things that are not really related to a particular game, a person, a personality. Yeah, there's things that I mention, right? But overall, it's about me, and it's about my experience in the world, and I'm just sort of putting it out there for myself and just for anyone that wants to listen, right? But I've sort of had this idea of, I feel like I've always felt like a dork. I've always felt like one of those traditional gamer boys, right? Even when I don't really play games that hardcore or that much, right? But that's a new generation type of thing. People that game all day, and they have these aspirations that are different than things that their parents might not understand, including YouTube, Twitch, gaming, esports, just this whole new wave of things that exist. So my goal is to show you how to maneuver through this vast space of bullshit that is the internet. Because if there's one thing I understand, it's the internet. I don't like marketing. I don't like posting shit, but I've seen it all. You know what I mean? And yeah. So it's like I look at it with a whole different perspective, because I was there for all of meme culture. I saw memes come and go. I could tell you hundreds and hundreds of memes, right? And I've seen every conspiracy you could think of. I've seen every rabbit hole you can go down. Trust me, I just spend endless nights doing this. What did I have to realize? I had to realize that wasn't productive. That was me avoiding things in my real life by jumping into all this stuff that felt bigger than me, right? It was like I was hoping the world would end so I could run away from my problems. But now I have a new perspective, a brand new perspective. And I've just cleared myself of all those things. Porn, it's like I no longer look at that. And jerking off, it's like I have a different relationship with that. I can't escape it just yet. I'm working on it. And also, I see these different things about NoFap. I see people saying that there's these great results. I see people saying it's a bunch of hoopla and that it's actually healthier to jerk off. I could believe that. I could see both sides, right? But if there's one thing that I've learned is that there is a sexual energy in your balls, boys. And if you, let's say your nut is like diamonds, your nut is like pearls, you would not throw a pearl necklace off a bridge, would you? And so I've been doing that for forever, since I could remember, right? And I'm sure a lot of you dudes do it too. And what you're doing is you're wasting that energy. All we are is flesh bags with energy, and we have to use it in a positive way, and it all comes from within yourself. Self-love. When you love yourself truly, and we'll definitely get into more of this, when you truly love yourself first and foremost, and accept yourself no matter what you are, no matter what you look like, and without needing anything else, right? When you do that, you realize that is true love. You realize that is happiness. And you realize that what you were doing before was you're putting girls on pedestals, or for girls, you're putting boys on pedestals. You're assuming that something outside of you is going to fill a void within you, and it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. And when you work through traumas that you may have in your life, or when you're a kid, because when you're a kid, you're like a sponge, and you develop these defense mechanisms very early on to protect you, but you may not need them. They actually might be hurting you when you're getting older. So you're trying to protect yourself, and you're trying to stop yourself from getting rejected or things like that, right? And especially when everything's through the internet. A text message is different than talking in real life. A tweet or an Instagram DM is different than real life. So when you when you keep that perspective, you sort of see real life different than social media. You can be whatever you want on social. I could be whatever I want here, right? You don't even have to know the real me. But I've been receiving golden nuggets of information that I think are just so amazing, and I want to share with, especially with the community that I feel like I identify with, which is people that feel misunderstood, or people that feel like they're dorks, losers. You're not. But it comes from within. It starts from within. I can tell you all day, but you need to look within yourself and accept yourself for who you are. Don't have any regrets about anything you've done. You know, when you lay awake at night and you think of every embarrassing thing you've ever done, and you're almost just like, in your head, you're like, what a dumbass I am. Or you send a text and then you regret it, or you just wish you could have said something different. None of that's important. None of that, going back and changing all that, wouldn't matter if you're gonna keep just crapping on yourself. So, and I see a lot of it in this TikTok generation, because everyone feels that they're not themselves. They are their likes. They are their impressions on an app. When in reality, you are a person first and foremost, and everything you put out to the world it's almost like a mask. It's like, love this idea of what I wish I was, or what I want to be, this best version of myself. And you're worried about the feedback that you're going to get from that, and it builds your confidence or destroys your confidence. When you're reliant so much on other people's output, you're never going to feel good enough. You're never going to feel whole and complete. And that is the goal. The goal is to feel whole and complete just as you are. You don't ever have to post anything. You don't ever have to do anything you don't want to do. But here is one thing that I find. Because just like in the last video that I made, we live in a society, right? So there are social norms. Okay, you could go and be a homeless person. You could go live in a forest somewhere. But you probably shouldn't. It might not work out for you. So in terms of reality, a lot of times we're attached to people, especially our parents, especially when we're living with our parents, and we rely on them for so many things, and then we wonder why we still feel like a kid. But the goal is you need money, right? And you have to change your relationship with money. The way that I change my relationship with money is I don't see money as this useless thing or just a thing that you need or whatever. I see it as energy. I see it as a transfer of energy. Every transaction is a transfer of energy. You're giving your energy and you're receiving something else, right? A product, something you want, something you need, whatever. But the truth is that this energy is required for, you just need enough to live. Everything else you do within the bounds of that living quarters is up to you. But when you realize that, okay, I'm going to need to do something for money. After that, you're free. Just be yourself. You don't have to please anybody else. You don't have to be anything else. And you'll see, the more that you step into your own shoes and you're not just being a pleaser for everybody, and you create boundaries, you'll realize that not only do you become more magnetic, but you become respected for it. Because nobody wants to, they want to please you too, right? So if you put these boundaries, they're not gonna, maybe they might be angry or they might get hurt at first, but then they're gonna want you. They're gonna want to try and get your attention, and you won't need it. Finally, you won't need attention from other people. You won't need validation from other people. You could just be you. And yeah, so I want to thank these YouTubers, Aaron Doughty, and then I'll find the other guy that I've been watching, and I'll thank him too, because these guys, you need to check them out. They're changing my whole perspective on things. There is ideas about manifestation in your life, and there's a lot of stuff that on the surface level seems like a bunch of hoopla, but the only reason why it would seem like hoopla is because that's your belief system. Your belief system is these things don't work, everything is what it is. I pretty much, maybe people just don't give a shit about a lot of things, but look, there is a key to happiness that exists within your soul, within your mind, and within your body. And when you use that key, you open up love within yourself unconditionally. And it's something completely different, something completely new. And only then you won't worry so much about things. And you could enjoy every time you play a game. You won't be worrying, am I procrastinating? Is there something I should be doing? You'll just enjoy. So, thank you for listening. I might as well say subscribe. Might as well. Tap the notification bell. Do whatever the hell you have to do. But thank you for listening. If you made it to 15 minutes and 39 seconds exactly. And I'll see you in the next video. They're going to be coming out more. Thank you so much.